hope you're doing well, and welcome to another travel adventure. You find us today here at Gatwick Airport, again at the South Terminal. Again, we're flying British Airways, but we're going a bit more long haul this time, and we are off to
Florida.
Stephen's happy place.
My happy place. And it's really, really weird for me because anyone that has watched previous vlogs for Stephen's solo adventure will know that it was a solo adventure, but I now have my wingman with me.
Yay.
And today is actually a really, really good day. So we're actually flying business class as well. So every time I've flown previously to Florida, it's always been economy or premium economy. Yeah. But we decided to kind of splash the cash a little bit.
As we do.
So yes, 9 hours in long haul business class.
Yeah.
It's not the really, really nice business class that you get from Heathrow. It's the Gatwick equivalent, but you know what, that's still an upgrade.
There's still plenty of legroom, which is great for a 9-hour flight. And actually, I've only had about 4 hours sleep because I was up late trying to rush some last-minute editing in so that we could release some content while we were away. So yeah, I feel a bit tired. I'm looking forward to putting that bed out and getting a couple of hours sleep at some point so I can catch up on that.
But we have literally got so much planned for the next 2 weeks. Yep. But we're going to make our way over to passport control, put our cases in.
I think you mean check-in, right?
Check-in, getting into that American vibe. But yeah, so we're going to check-in, get rid of our stuff, because I need to show you guys a clip of what we've got, because it's just obscene for 2 weeks. Once we get to the lounge, we'll give you a little bit of a debrief as what we've got planned for the next 2 weeks, because there's quite a bit. And for anyone that cares, it is September going into October, so if you know, you know, because it's Halloween season.
Indeed. Anyway, we're going to head to get our bags checked in, and we'll catch up with you guys soon. Right, so if you've seen some of our previous vlogs, you'll know that we know about a secret passage upstairs that bypasses duty free and takes you straight to the lounge. But you'll also know that Stephen loves shopping, so we're going to head down to duty free to have a quick look around.
No stop to duty free would be
the same without Ciroc. I'm debating actually whether I should buy some of this, because I do quite like the lemon one. But I also could do with another normal bottle as well, which isn't a bad price. I don't really know what to do, lemon or normal, so I probably can't have both, because I suspect we'll buy some stuff in America to bring back.
Red berry though?
We've got red berry at home. Oh. And we've got pineapple at home. We just don't have much lemon left. So I think...
So there's that, which is 23.59, which isn't bad at all.
No.
For 70, whereas this one is 25 for a whole litre, which is, you pay what, about 40 quid for that on the high street?
40, £50 easily for a Ciroc, yeah.
Although, over here you can get 2 bottles of the 100 proof for 25 quid.
It's not 100 proof, but it's yeah. But still, 2 bottles for 25, that's £12.50 each, right?
And that was the one that you bought for Turkey that smashed.
Then dropped, yeah, on the way out the airport, which was really stupid of me, wasn't it? Never mind. All right, I don't know. What should I do?
Whilst it's 2 bottles for 25 over there, the Smirnoff, it's 2 bottles over here for 24, which makes no sense. And it
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, and it comes in a nice little
So you're paying extra just for a little box, right?
Or 22 for just a normal. And then over here they've got the Patron.
That's more of a Stephen drink, isn't it? What do you think?
It's definitely a Stephen drink. Although this one, look, 139. I'm guessing it's for this one here.
Yeah.
But I've got this one indoors, haven't I? So it should be 71, but it's actually 42. Do I get this? I'm not too sure. Because I've got that bottle I bought from when I came, when we went to Turkey, and I've also got the bottle that Claire got me for my birthday. So I'm not too sure.
Not too sure.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
I'm not too sure either. I need a minute to think.
Yeah. Right, so he opted for one. What did you get?
I got myself 2 bottles of Smirnoff, which are £22. So that's £11 each, and that's definitely cheaper than you'd pay in the high street.
And also, it's cheaper than Florida prices as well, because the spirits out there
really
are
expensive.
Always really expensive.
Yeah. But anyway, at least I've got something to drink in the evenings when we're out there.
And unlike me, I didn't go for the alcohol. No. I've not actually picked up any fragrance yet.
Doing well for once.
And no sunglasses, so there is something really wrong with me today.
Very much so.
But it is heaving in here.
It is.
Absolutely heaving.
I'm glad we were in the lounge, because otherwise that departure lounge would be quite busy, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure that none of you want to dwell on what we wasted our money on in the duty-free shop. So on that note, it's probably time to move on. We've got ourselves settled up at the till, and in no time at all, we're in the main departures area on our way to the British Airways lounges.
Hi everyone, we are now chilling out in the first class lounge at Gatwick Airport. Nice and quiet today. It's probably why I'm not speaking very loud, because I don't want to disturb everyone around us. We've got the microphone on, so this should come out nicely so you can hear what we're saying. But we just want to take a minute to tell you about all the exciting things that we have got planned for the next 2 weeks. Starting off with, what's the first thing we're going to do when we get there later on?
So we are heading straight over to Islands of Adventure and getting our VelociCoaster fixed, because it is tradition, it has to be done. But we should probably actually go back a little bit and actually say we're staying at Dockside Inn, which is literally a Universal Resort, and it's about 5-10 minutes away from Universal Islands of Adventure.
On a transfer bus, yeah.
So the last time Luke went to Florida, which was 18 months ago, can you believe?
So really?
18 months ago, March last year. I was there in April this year.
Yep.
So, and again in March.
Yeah.
And October. So yeah, I've been 3 times. Anyway, yeah. So plan is to hit up VelociCoaster.
Yep.
Luke is going to upgrade his
2-week
14-day ticket to
Yep.
become an annual pass holder. So he is joining my club.
Yay.
So that will be good because we are heading out in December, so it makes financial sense to do that. And then this evening, we are meeting up with my friend Chloe, who has been out there for the past couple of days. So it will be nice to see her and spend some time with her,
Exactly.
albeit brief. So the intention is Panda Express.
Yep.
And then tomorrow she is put the whole day aside to do shopping for us. That's really, really nice of her. But other bits and pieces, so we've got tickets to Epic Universe, we've got tickets to Halloween Horror Nights, we've got tickets for Mickey's Not So Scary, we've got fast passes for Halloween Horror Nights. We've got 14-day tickets to Disney as well. As we've always said, not really Disney people. We've only ever been twice, and that was with Kirsty and Amy.
Yeah.
So it's going to be weird going there without her. No, I say that with exception for when I went in after hours at Epcot last time I was out there.
Yeah.
No SeaWorld, no Busch Gardens, no Aquatica this time around. However, my friend Chloe, as I said, is in Discovery Cove today. So we will take a sneak peek quickly over there to her now to see what she is up to.
So I'm at Discovery Cove today. I've been in Florida for the last 6 days solo, which has been really lovely, and been able to shop and do things at my own pace, eat lots of yummy foods. It's been a really nice 6 days, but I'm really excited because Steve and Luke arrived today. I've known them for about 16 years, they're my besties. I really cannot wait to see them and have some fun together. My plan today is just to be horizontal, get up every now and again to have a drink and have something to eat, but the rest of the time I should be on the sunbed, just whiling the day away. Steve and Luke should arrive about 3 p.m. and it's currently 8:30 here, so I've got quite a few hours to sit and chill.
I'll tell you what I'm most excited about.
Yeah.
I get to go to Epic Universe.
Yes, you do.
I've never been, so I'm really looking forward to that. Stephen's been before and had a fantastic time. I'm really excited to try it for the first time. So can't remember what day we're doing that, but I'm really looking forward to that experience. And we have invested in fast passes for that as well because there's lots to do there. We've only got one day, and I want to make sure that we cover everything.
And the night before we are staying at Stella Nova, which is one of the new hotels just across from Epic Universe. And obviously the intention is because we want to just walk over there. If you're staying at Aventura, Surfside, Dockside, the traditional ones that are closer to Universal, there's about 20-25 minutes actually on the coach to get there. Great thing about Epic Universe is it's generally open until 9-10 o'clock in the evening, so you get to see like the park at night, which is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And if you want a sneak peek of that, head back and have a look at my Epic solo adventure, and the link to that series will be in the description.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. We're going to have lots of fun. I really love Florida. I know it's your favourite place in the world as
My
well.
happy place.
So we're going to have lots of fun. It's going to be really hot. I'm going to probably put some shorts on in a little bit as well, so that when I get off the plane, I'm appropriately dressed. But keep an eye on our vlog. Stay tuned for future episodes, and we'll show you all of our adventures when we land there. For now, though, we're just going to sip on a little bit more champagne, chill out for a bit. We've got roughly 2 hours until our flight takes off, so we've got a bit more time here to relax. And next time you see us, we'll probably be on the way to the gate.
Okay, before we head off to catch our flight, this wouldn't be a Those Travelholics Travel Day vlog without a bit of a lounge tour. And the BA First Class Lounge at Gatwick is definitely one that is worth visiting if you're lucky enough to have the opportunity to do so. The design is clearly intended to be high-end, and the large, well-spaced seating is definitely a good start point to that aim. And to add to that, the high ceilings with decorative light fittings, along with the floor-to-ceiling windows with full-on airfield views, you really do get a feel of spacious luxury. Of course, as with any premium lounge, food and drinks are complimentary, and there is a large self-service area, which today is set out for breakfast, giving our morning departure time. Food-wise, there is plenty of choice, starting with some fresh fruit, continental pastries, cold cuts, yogurts and fruit salads. And of course, being in the UK, there are the usual hot English breakfast staples of bacon, sausages, eggs, beans and mushrooms. If that's not for you, there is also some hot porridge with dried fruits or some breakfast cereals with some milk, including some dairy-free options. Just across from that is a fairly substantial hot drink station where you can grab yourself a tea or a coffee. And as you can see, there are plenty of items here to choose from. I'll talk you through the details of that in just a moment, but the first thing my eye is drawn to are the biscuits that are stored in jars next to the coffee machine. I almost think that someone had too much time on their hands to have them stacked so perfectly. But focusing on the drinks themselves, there is a wide selection of different tea bags to choose from with a hot water tap to make your brew. And also there are multiple different varieties of coffees that can be made from an easy to use touchscreen on a dispenser. If you want, once you've grabbed that, you can take a seat on one of the bar stools and take in some of what's outside the large windows. And we think that this is one of the best locations in the airport to get some views of the apron. But if that's not what you're into, you can just head back to the seating area to sit back in one of those larger seats. Personally though, as a bit of an av geek, I think I know what I'd opt for given the choice, as you can see here. There is also a cold drink station with a fridge containing both soft drinks and a range of different beers. And above that you can grab some bar snacks to have with your drink, or even a packet of one of the more premium UK brands of crisps, or chips if that's what you know them as from wherever you're from. There are also plenty of top shelf branded spirits, as well as some ice in a bucket and some cut lemon and lime slices to add to whatever drink that you are making yourself. But of course, no lounge would be complete without a centrepiece, and in this case, it's a champagne bar. Okay, it might start off looking fairly vanilla with some plain glasses and a selection of fruit juices, but as you move down, you get to the good stuff, which is some rosé and white champagnes being held on ice. And just to emphasise the fact that this is a premium lounge, you can even drop a strawberry into your glass of bubbles. Speaking of which, you get a full height champagne flute here, unlike the more stumpy version that you get in the business class lounge. Now, one final thing to mention is that there is a full table service seating area as well, which you might have caught a quick glimpse of between the food buffet and the coffee machine a bit earlier on. We're not partaking in that today, but just in the interest of lounge tour completeness, we've managed to grab hold of one of the menus so you can see what you could have if you're sitting in that area. We're not going to talk it through in full detail, but feel free to pause if you want to know more, although try not to concentrate too much on the calories that come with some of these options. Anyway, that's enough of the lounge tour. Let's get back to our travel day.
Okay, so we interrupt this vlog because I said the next thing you were going to see was us heading to the plane. But I got tempted by something that somebody else had, and I decided that I wanted it as well. So
But for anyone that's actually watched many of our previous vlogs, you'll know it's a staple whenever we come in here.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've treated myself to an espresso martini.
And
I've got a bit peckish, so I've got a pan of chocolate, which looks a little bit fragmented, but I'm sure it tastes nice, and a bacon roll, although I may have ever so slightly, if I show you, over-ketched up it, so I'm going to have to be very careful with this. It doesn't end up on my shirt rather than my mouth, but we'll see.
But for those eagle-eye viewers, you'll see that Luke is double parked.
Yeah, well, kind of 1.5 part. But there's a reason for that, and that was because last time we ordered a cocktail in here, it took nearly 20 minutes to arrive. So I thought,
Well, in all fairness, that was the third cocktail we had ordered.
it was, yeah. But I didn't want it to arrive. I didn't want the same experience of it arriving just when we had to leave the lounge and head to the gate. So I thought I'll order it now. So that by the time it arrives, I'd have finished that drink, and it came pretty much straight away. So yeah, that's one double part. Anyway, I should probably give it a try and tell you what I think. Oh, strong. Slightly sweeter than last time, actually. I don't know if they put a bit more sugar syrup in it, but it's nice either way.
I think I'm going to try a little bit.
Let me hand it to Stephen.
My hair is not hairing again, sorry. And also, do you like the turkey teeth? Not turkey teeth, I had them whitened recently. Anyway. Look at the froth on that. That is literally the only way you should have caffeine.
At this time in the morning, at least, when you're on the way to Florida. But yes, so I don't know if let me just try a little bit of this.
It looks really...
It looks a little bit dry, but There weren't really much better ones up there, but I don't want to get down me. Taste-wise, it's all right. So I wouldn't complain too much about that. I'm definitely not going to try the bacon roll on camera because that's almost certainly going to end up going down my shirt if I don't concentrate on it properly. But it looks all right. I've gone for the kind of slightly crispier looking bits of bacon because I don't like it when it's too anemic. But yeah, looking forward to sucking into that in a minute.
For those eagle-eyed viewers, though, you'll notice that there is 2 distinct changes to this person sitting in front of you right now. So put a comment down below and tell us what they are. For anyone that's watched the previous vlogs,
You'll know.
You'll know.
You'll know, yeah.
And interestingly, what has just happened today as well, this morning?
Lots of things. Not sure.
Well, the one main thing that was just on the TV.
Oh, a cyber attack at loads of UK airports, loads of European airports, and apparently Heathrow is going for a cyber attack at the moment and it's causing lots of delays. It looks like Gatwick's all right, and there's nothing on the boards that I'm looking at the moment that say our flight is delayed.
And also, as you can see, the planes are still taking off.
Yeah, so hopefully we will still be taking off and going to Orlando at around about 10:40, which is an hour and 15 from now.
So just as a quick time-lapse interlude at this point, sitting in the lounge, you really get a sense of why this is the world's busiest single runway airport. For now, that is. When Gatwick get to routinely use their standby runway fairly soon, they won't be able to claim that accolade anymore. And I can certainly think of busier dual runway airports in various locations around the world. Anyway, a little over an hour before our departure time, our flight is suddenly showing as boarding. We were a little suspicious of that from past experience at this airport, but to be on the safe side, we're going to wave goodbye to the lounge and head ourselves down to our gate.
Okay, so we've rushed down here because the departure gate boards were saying that the flight was loading, and surprise, surprise, we've got here and there was no sign of boarding at all yet. So no need to rush at all, but at least we're here early, and because we're boarding group 1, being gold executive club members, hopefully we will get on the flight. I say that, we're not going to be for much longer because we're going to lose that status and drop down to silver. But anyway, that aside, we'll hopefully be able to get on the flight fairly soon. Not that we're going to have a challenge with overhead luggage bin space because there are not many seats per luggage bin in the Club World cabin, but at least we're here early enough to put our suitcases up comfortably and get ourselves settled into our seat ready for our flight. So you might not be able to see it because it's quite bright behind, but just there somewhere is GVIIP, which is our 777-200ER plane, a vintage bird now, I think 1997 heritage. But
97, that was when I started secondary school. Bloody hell.
If it's not 1997, I'll correct ourselves in the comments underneath, but I'm pretty sure it's one of the older planes now, and probably due to be replaced in the next kind of few years or so. However,
I have to admit though, I am actually quite shocked at how busy it is down here. I know that plane can hold, about 200 people, but
there are 252, I think.
But there are
in economy.
But there are so many people here. Like clearly, everyone has got the Florida bug today.
Definitely. Anyway, we're going to try and find a seat. There aren't very many at the moment, so we could have stayed in the lounge for a little bit longer. We're going to try and find a seat, settle ourselves down somewhere, and hopefully, before long, it'll be time to get on board.
5 minutes later.
Right, Route 1 has been called. Yep. We're on the way.
We're down the jet bridge, yeah.
Just about to board our plane, and I'm going to flip it around so you can see what we're going to get onto.
Right, so this is going to be our home for the next 9 to 10 hours or so. And as we alluded to, it does hold quite a few people. 252 in economy, 52 in premium economy, and 32 in business. That's a grand total of 336 passengers at full capacity. There is no first class cabin on this plane, and as we are fortunate enough to be flying business today, that does mean that we've just got to turn left on entry, and we're now heading right to the front of the plane to find our seats. And as we've mentioned, this is the older version of business class, with the well-known yin-yang seating appearing just a little bit cramped in this day and age. On arrival at our seat though, there is a plush looking pillow and some bedding that's already been laid out for us ready for our flight, although I suspect it will need stowing for takeoff, which almost makes it feel a bit pointless it being put out so early. Also in the storage drawer there is a complimentary bottle of water and an amenity kit which we'll talk about in a bit more detail later on. Just one more thing to mention though is that you do need to think about what seats to choose on these particular planes. The middle seat in the centre would certainly be uncomfortable to share with someone you don't know, and there is a bit of an awkward eye to eye with people on the aisle seats from both the centre seats and also from the window seats, particularly if they are not known to you. We've settled into our seats for now though, and if you know, you know. This is supposedly the most exclusive seat on board. It hasn't taken too long before the welcome drinks have arrived either, and there was a choice of orange juice, water or champagne. It really wasn't a hard choice for us, as you can see. So as the last few passengers make their way on board, we are certainly getting into the holiday mood and ready to toast our upcoming week or two in Orlando.
Well, hey everyone, we are all on board, settled down, and already in our hands we have got champagne.
Or as our little godson would say,
Bubbles. Yeah, bless him. So yeah, boarding was actually really slick and quick. So although when we got here we were saying that they hadn't started boarding yet, it was probably about 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah,
you sat down and you barely sat down at all before they started to call boarding group 0, which is like families with young kids and that kind of thing. And then pretty much straight afterwards it's boarding group 1. I think we're 3rd on the plane, which isn't bad. We're sat in our seats now, getting ourselves comfortable. We've already had a nice long chat with our crew member, whose name is
Caroline. Sweet Caroline.
And she had a good conversation about what we're going to be getting up to in Orlando and what we're looking forward to. So hopefully that's a good sign of how we're going to be looked after over the next 9 hours. But for now, we're going to chill back for a little bit. Get used to what's available in the in-flight entertainment. And actually one other thing as well, it's unusual for us to be sitting like this face to face. And that is a bit of a feature of the old British Airways Club World cabin. This design is gradually being phased out. And that's Caroline.
So that was our sweet Caroline bringing around our drinks menus and food menus.
Yes, and we'll show you that in a little bit.
Which is here.
Yep. But yeah, so far so good. The boarding process, I said, was slick and easy. The seat is quite comfortable considering it's a fairly old one. The crew seem really good. We're facing each other, which is a unique feature of the old Club World Yin Yang layout, which is not much longer for this world. But actually, I think it's going to be a fairly decent flight. Looking forward to it.
So it looks like that is boarding complete, doors set to automatic and cross-checked, and the jet bridge is now being retracted. That probably means it's about time for us to get on the way. Of course, no flight can be complete without the all-important safety briefing, and these seem to have become a bit of a talking point amongst airline passengers over recent years. They have become less about being a functional set of instructions on a screen, but now airlines seem to be in an almost unspoken battle to see who can come up with the coolest one. This, I think, is the 4th version of the BA safety video. I can recall 2 iterations perhaps of celebrity versions, 1 hybrid celebrity and real life staff version, and the latest cut, which I believe just includes staff, but this time has been set to a Bridgerton-esque Georgian era theme. I'm going to be upfront, I have a lot of admiration for BA crew and they have all played their parts well in this particular video, but I do miss the celebrity input, and to me that does sort of mean that this doesn't land, if you pardon the pun, quite as well. Nevertheless, the content is really important and you should always watch it, as it may differ from any aircraft that you have flown on before. Even if that means by watching it all the way through, you have to see scenes like this at the very end. That said, the safety video being just under 5 minutes long has taken up almost our entire taxi to the runway, which I suppose also shows how quickly you can get from gate to takeoff on occasions at Gatwick. That does mean for us though, you've guessed it, it's about time for us to get up in the air. So we'll check back in with you guys in just a few minutes' time. So this being a bit of an autumnal day today, we are up above the clouds in no time at all, and other than a plane which has just exited from stage left, there isn't really a huge amount for us to see at the moment. Stephen has already been distracted by the privacy screen, which again we're going to talk to you about in a bit more detail later on. Shortly after takeoff, the crew have come around with a hot towel, which is a nice touch, although I've not yet worked out exactly what they're supposed to do for you. If you know, let us know in the comments. Now, we've barely left the British Isles and I can see that we already only have a little under 8.25 hours left on what is usually timed as a 9.5 hour flight, which does indicate that perhaps our headwinds are not as strong as usual and we may be arriving a little bit earlier. I'll keep an eye on that, but whilst we're still climbing, the post-departure drinks that we ordered before takeoff have just arrived.
Right, so I have got my champagne and nuts. Very tasty they are too. I don't know why that makes you laugh, I really don't. That's very childish of you.
It's almost, I think Amy would laugh as well if she had heard
She
that.
probably would, to be fair. So what have you gone for, Stevie?
I'm double parts as well, so I do have a glass of champagne, but I've got some peppermint tea to try and settle my stomach a bit because I haven't been feeling 100% well.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I drank so much peppermint tea, and it's really weird to think as well that I had peppermint tea in the lounge. I only had like a quarter of that champagne. So that was really weird. We finished the rest of that, but it's really nice. I have to say, the crew are really attentive.
They are brilliant.
Not overbearing, really friendly. It's really funny when they speak to you by your name as if it's like, how do you know that? But obviously they've got it on the tablet in
They've got
front
a
of them.
manifest, right? So I know who's sitting where. Yeah, so our cabin manager is Sophie.
Yes, and she's at the moment just filling up a vodka Diet Coke,
Oh, really?
but with a big bottle of Ciroc.
Well, I might partake in one of those later because that is my kind of go-to drink. But I'm also tempted, because we're on this plane for another 8.5 hours, I'm also tempted to see how many of the cocktails I can have in that time.
See, I did that challenge last time, didn't I?
Yeah.
When we flew to Florida, actually.
Yeah.
I did all of the alcoholic ones and all the non-alcoholic ones.
See, I'm not going to have
Which
the
was
non-alcoholic
6 in
ones.
total.
Not because I don't like a mocktail, but because both of them have tonic water in, which I really don't get on with. So I will stick with the alcohol, I think.
But we have come across the first fail.
We have, yeah. Sadly, we've just discovered, and I put a little screenshot probably to the left of Stephen's face right there, but we have just discovered that there is a technical error on this flight, which means there is no in-flight Wi-Fi. So that means that Stephen is going to have to converse with me for the next 8.5 hours.
I also plan on doing a bit of sleeping as well.
That'd be a good idea as well, seeing as we didn't have much last night. Anyway, it's just suddenly started getting a little bit bumpy. So,
Yeah, I've been kind of watching my tea jump around, and my champagne down there is going all over the place as well.
Yeah, I'm just going to show you mine quickly so you get a bit of a feel for what's happening right now.
Oh. Sorry, look.
What the hell? How has that happened?
Like, it's magnetic strip.
Oh, okay. Right, anyway, I'm going to put this down for a little bit because I want to make sure that, oh yeah, Stephen's double parked. I want to make sure I don't lose any of my champagne or anything like that. So.
But we've just ordered our food, really, really delicious it is. So Luke is going to go through the menu, just so you can see what we've got. Because
and then in a bit short while, we'll actually show you what food we've got as well.
Okay, so you saw Caroline handing our menus out a little bit earlier on, and here it is. It's actually well presented on quite thick embossed card, and when you open it on the left-hand side, there's a bit of blurb around the thought process behind the menu that they are serving us today on our flight. On the right-hand side, there's more information about all the spirits and cocktails that you can get, as well as some of the soft drinks. Now, I am particularly interested in the cocktails, and I do think I'm going to try all three on the flight. Mocktails, as I said, I'm going to probably pass on those because I just don't like tonic water, and both of those have that in there. Anyway, turning the page over, on the left hand side you can see what our main meal is going to be on this flight. There's a choice of starters there, a choice of main courses as well, and also a list of the things that you can have for dessert and cheese. So I guess you can have either one or other or both, and it also mentions that you have a warm roll as well. Later on in the flight, before we come into land, we're also going to get served a traditional British afternoon tea, which you would not expect anything less when it comes to British Airways. There's a range of sandwiches there, some sweet pastries I assume, and of course a scone and jam. There are also lots of different teas and coffees along with hot chocolate, but you can wash all that down with. Now, one thing I really like on this menu as well is it does mention that if you've got any allergens, you can speak to your crew for more details, so that's a really nice touch. And also there's this little nice message here that says that they apologise if your first meal choice is not available. And then turning the page, you have the wine list for the flight. And again, there's a little bit of blurb here about why they have chosen the wines they have today. There are some champagnes and also some English sparkling wines, along with some white and rosé wines and some red wines to choose from. And of course, because this is British Airways, there has to be a bit of port, just in case you're having that cheese course instead of a dessert at the end of your meal. So that's about it. We've made our choices, put our orders in with the crew, who have told us that our food hopefully won't take too long to come out. So we're just going to sit back and relax for a little bit, and hopefully the next thing that you see will be us tucking into our food and telling you guys what we think about it.
Right, so first course has arrived, and there's some sort of, I think, quinoa salad. Now this looks really similar to the one that we had on our flight to Antalya, and I, in that vlog, said, oh, that looks like mayonnaise, but I'm sure it's not, and actually it was mayonnaise, so that could well be what I have here. There's also, what we got? There's also a bread roll, artisan bread roll apparently, which is, yeah, it's kind of slightly warm, and there's butter and a random little dish. Not sure what the dish is for, but I assume that would normally have butter in, but either way, that's there as well. And then the main thing is the goat's cheese and asparagus salad, which actually I have to say does look quite nice. So yeah, I'm looking forward to tucking into this. And there's also, I got myself a bit of a sparkling water, and mainly because I'm having beef for the main, I got a Pinot Noir, which strangely isn't served in a wine glass, it's served in a kind of a tumbler, but I'm sure it tastes nice as well. Stephen's food's just arrived, so I'll hand over to him for him to tell us all what he thinks of his starter.
Right, so as you can see, I went for something totally different to Luke, and I went for a tomato and basil soup because I have an upset stomach and I didn't want to risk it for a chocolate biscuit, although Luke's does look delicious. But I have to admit, this does not look too bad. With that, I also get quinoa salad as well, and a a bread roll. Now, some of you might be asking, why no alcohol, Steve? Where's your alcohol? That is because I opted not to get any, simply because I'm not feeling 100%. However, that may change a bit later. I might choose to have something with my main, but this looks yummy, and it will be the first thing I've been eating today. So I am all ready to tuck in.
Right, so it's time to tuck in, and I'm actually looking forward to this. Just to point out, you also get this kind of napkin roll, which contains all your cutlery for all of the courses, along with, normally, if I unwrap it, a little sachet, there it is, of salt and pepper if you want to season it. Now, I often find that plain food is quite salty, so I probably won't be doing that, but I am going to tuck into this salad. If I can just remove my cutlery from the napkin and apply it to my lap. I'm going to tuck into the salad and give you guys an idea. I say salad, it's a goat cheese and asparagus starter, so I don't think that's a salad. I think this other quinoa thing is a salad potentially. It's really good when you get your food served on china and you have metal cutlery. I don't know what it is about wooden cutlery, but it brings connotations to me, a bit like when you're at school. Actually, most people these days don't have these, but when I was at school and you had blackboards and someone rubbed their fingernails over a blackboard, that's what it's like putting a wooden fork in my mouth to me. But anyway, less of that, more of the food. I'm going to grab myself a little bit of asparagus. I mean, this looks like quite mature, firm goat cheese, which is nice, and some kind of goat cheese whip, and maybe a pine nut, and a bit of rocket, and let's see what I think. That is delicious. Absolutely delicious. I want to go for another mouthful. I know Steve wants to start on his, but this goat cheese is so tasty. Just to make sure that this is good as well, I'm going to try some of this kind of quinoa salad. I'm not the biggest fan of quinoa. I find it a little bit chewy, but let's see what this is like. It is chewy, but there's some kind of mint going on in there somewhere, which is quite light and refreshing. It kind of breaks through that kind of, it's either yogurt or mayonnaise, I'm not quite sure what it is yet, but either way, this is a good start to our meal.
In hindsight, we probably should have started with me because mine is hot food and Luke's isn't, but I mean, you can't really go wrong with tomato soup, right? It just is what it is. And I did have a sneak peek just a minute ago. It has a really good consistency to it, not overpowering, although I feel like I probably should have had a little bit more salt in it. But it's really, really nice. The thing is though, the croutons are a little bit mushy, which makes me think that they've been in there a hot second. I like my croutons to be like nice and crunchy when they go in, but I mean, tomato soup is tomato soup, right? I actually think this is the first time I've actually had soup on an airplane as well. However, I will try the quinoa, although I don't seem to have any cream on mine. Right, it's exactly, oh no, mine's more at the bottom, it's smushed into the sides. Very, very crunchy, and I like that, and it's really, really refreshing. It's quite heavy though, I think.
Okay, so we've finished our starter, and there's going to be a slight delay before the main course comes out. Not the fault of the crew, one of their ovens isn't working, so they're struggling to get everything processed quickly. They're being very upfront and honest about it, which I really appreciate. Also very polite, and also they have topped up my drink as well, and hopefully the main course will be here very soon. Right, so our main course has now arrived, and actually I don't think the wait was too long, but we have both gone for beef, which as you can see actually looks quite delicious. The only thing I can see is a little bit of charring on the edge of the beef there, so I'm not sure whether it's going to be dry, and I quite like my meat to be fairly moist. Stephen likes his to be cremated and destroyed. So he'll be very happy with this, I am sure. There's also a truffle potato gratin, and we've got some green beans and carrots and some kind of jus of some sort, I think, or a sauce. So yeah, let's tuck into this and see what we think of it. Now, I have devoured my salad, but I deliberately saved my little bread roll because I thought that if there was lots of juice on the plate, which there is, I might want to dunk my bread roll into the juice. Anyway, let's see what we think of this. Right, Stephen's going to tuck in first. And we'll see what he thinks of this.
As Luke said, let me restart. As Luke said, I prefer to have my meat cremated, especially when it's steak. Like no blue, no blood, just burnt.
I see. I like a bit of juice. What's it like?
Oh, it's got a lot of flavour to it. I don't know if it's like a wine sauce, but it literally falls away from the rest of the carcass.
I thought it might be because on the menu I think he said it was braised or slow cooked.
There's so much flavour in there as well. I'm going to try the potato gratin with the truffle.
Yeah.
I know Kirsty doesn't like truffle because she said it tastes of feet. So the question is, when did you taste feet?
I don't understand that one either, to be fair. But,
it's really nice. It's like whipped. It's like
really?
Yeah.
So it's quite light and...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you taste the truffle? That's the question.
I can taste the truffle, and it's got like a al dente outside, but a really soft inside. Like, look at that. It's really delicious.
So you think we made the right choice then?
Yeah, but as everyone knows, I'm not a dessert person, so I won't be doing dessert. And considering I actually had that soup and this, it's quite a lot of food to have in one sitting for me. So yeah, I will work my way through this.
Yeah. You're not going to have a cheese then, no? Okay. Right, I'm quite excited about this after what Stephen just said about his. So, like I say, I don't know if you can see. No, I showed it to you earlier anyway. There's one part of this that looks just a little bit dry. So I'm going to... I was going to say I'm going to go into that first, but it really is fork tender. So let me see what this tastes like. That is really good, isn't it? It's really good. I don't quite know... Actually, this bit here is not quite so fork tender. I don't know how to describe the flavour of the sauce, but it is, as Stephen said, flavoursome. I think is a good way of putting it. Very nice. For me, I can almost taste something sweet, and also just a little bit of celery in there. But it's very savoury and very delicious. Let me try this this gratin, which Stephen has just convinced me is delicious. And it is, as you said, very soft in the middle and slightly kind of crispy on the outside. It's garlicky, it's creamy, it's truffly, it's crisp on the outside, melts in the mouth in the middle. That is very, very good. And lastly, let me try a green bean. Very nice, very juicy. As Stephen says, not overcooked, so it still has a little bit of bite to it, but not a crunch. So yeah, very happy with this food. I'm going to enjoy devouring the rest of it. Right, okay, so food has now been devoured, and I have to say, I feel slightly full up, but in the interest of the vlog, here is a dessert, which I may or may not eat in its entirety. Now, this is a lemon posset, which I've deliberately chosen, much as I love a chocolate lava cake. I think that might just be a little bit rich after what I've eaten so far, and I wanted something kind of light and fresh, like citrusy, to kind of basically cut through that a little bit, and that's why I've gone for this. Now, this looks quite interesting because lemon possets are normally made by using the citric acid in a lemon to basically thicken and set cream, and I think that's kind of what they've done here. Let me just move it out of the shadow a little bit so you can see it. I think that's kind of what they've done here, but they've also put what looks like some kind of crumb or crumble maybe on the top of that, with maybe some freeze-dried strawberries or raspberries, not sure. So I'm quite interested to see how this tastes, and I'm going to tuck into that in just a minute. Stephen, on the other hand, is being very vanilla today because he keeps passing up on the offer for drinks, real drinks. And what have you gone for?
Peppermint tea again.
Another peppermint tea. So this is what, number
3.
Number 3 for
There's
today.
clearly
Yeah.
something wrong with me when it's the tea and not the champagne.
I tend to agree with that, to be fair. But anyway, I'm going to tuck into this and tell you what I think. It does look, I don't know if you can see, it does look quite thick and creamy. And the crumble doesn't look soggy. I mean, we have had this before on some of the short haul business class flights from British Airways from Gatwick, where the crumble stuff on the top has kind of absorbed some of the moisture and goes kind of almost soggy. But let me see what I think. That is very good. The posset itself is really zingy and citrusy. I mean, every now and then you get like a little hit of the freeze-dried, I think it's raspberry actually. Yeah, the crumble is perhaps not as crunchy as it could be, but equally it's not like soft and soggy either, so it's not too bad. I'm going to eat a little bit more of this. I don't know if I'm going to manage the whole thing because I really feel stuffed. If there's one thing that I can tell you about this flight, we have been well catered for and we've had plenty of food, and this is definitely going to keep going for the next 6 hours and 31 minutes, according to my flight tracker, until we land in Orlando. Okay, so meal service is done. The crew have cleared all the plates and the glasses. Stephen has decided to bed down next to me and have a bit of a nap. I might throw some footage of that somewhere around here. The crew are also having their well-earned break as well. They've been really attentive and super helpful so far in looking after us as passengers. But as things start to settle down a little bit, this is a good opportunity to show you a bit more about this seat. Now, the Club World seat in the old yin-yang format, I think comes in for quite a bit of criticism these days. Yes, it was revolutionary at its time as the first light, flat business seat, but it is a little bit dated. That said, I'm actually a bit of a fan of it, and I'm going to show you a bit about why in a second. The one drawback is there is a huge lack of storage. You'll see that in just a moment when I show that to you. But apart from that, I actually think there are some real pros about the way that this seat is designed. For me, as someone who's close to 6 foot tall, in terms of comfort. So I'm going to start off by just turning the camera around, so you can see what I'm looking at right now. And this is the footstool. And the point I want to make here is that this kind of long rectangular space is really unique in this day and age, and some of the more modern kind of herringbone seats, which have a diamond layout, end up having a situation where your ankle space is really narrow and small, and if you are tall like me, that does make it a little bit hard to get your feet in a comfortable position, particularly if you want to get some sleep. But in essence, if you want to, you can use it as a footrest. You just use this little latch here at the bottom, which I can't get to work. It's incredibly stiff. There we go. Got there in the end. And then this becomes a footstool that you can pop your feet on. Oh, by the way, I've now put my shorts on as well because it is getting a bit warm in here and I'm getting myself into Florida mode. At the moment, it feels a little bit low down actually, but you can, using some of the devices down there, you can actually raise it up a little bit as well, so that when you put your seat out, it turns into more of a flat bed, as you can see now. So that's there. The one bit of storage that you do have is the straw here, which, as you can see, I've made use of. I've stored my food menu in there, and also some of the equipment that we use for our vlogging, which you can see just there. And there is also the amenity kit, which I'm going to talk to you about in just a minute. And for now, I've also stored my headphones, which are just there for the in-flight entertainment. So again, we'll talk to you a little bit more about that in a minute. Now, in terms of your in-flight entertainment, your screen is on the side here, and that does mean you can't use it for takeoff and landing. You have to stow it in inverted commas, but when you want to use it, you just literally press the button here, it pops out, and there you go. I'll show you a bit more about the in-flight entertainment side of things in just a minute. And actually, you can kind of tilt it as well, if I get the angle right, like so. So if you're laying down, you can angle it so you're looking up at it, rather than trying to squint yourself and get a strange look, a strange angle towards it, sorry. Right, so apart from that, you've also got your tray table here as well. Again, that pops out by pressing that button there. And you can either have it as like kind of a half table, or you can open it up as a full table, and it does slide towards you too. So when you're eating, as you can see, you can kind of get it right up to yourself without having to lean over too far. So I'll put that back for 2 seconds. Next to that, you've also got the seat controls. I just want to talk you through those very quickly. Actually, I'm just going to put the blind down for a second because it's very bright. There we go. So here you've got the head inflation option. You can either make it more inflated or less inflated. Again, there's an option there to inflate the back, so you can make that more inflated or less inflated there. There are some preset positions, so you've got a dining position, the takeoff and landing position, the lazy position, which is kind of a bit more chilled out, and then you've got your flatbed there. Or if you just want to try and personalise it yourself, you can use this left button and this right button here as well. Now, I don't think on more modern seats you have the option to inflate the headrest. I do like a kind of fairly plump pillow. So when you get just a single pillow, which you normally get in business class on flights like this, having the option to kind of push the headrest out a little bit to emphasise that or enhance that a little bit is really useful for me too. So aside from that, you've also got USB charging, which I'm currently using to charge my phone, and then you've kind of got this console here which you can pop out, I think by pressing that button there. There we go. And this can be used as your control for the in-flight entertainment. So just one little thing that it took me a little while to learn on this one, when you pull it out, it seems to kind of snap into some kind of lock position, and it doesn't automatically, as you can see, retract back into the holder. So the way to get it to retract back into the holder is you pull it forward, and then, as you can see, the cable springs back, and you can pop it away just there. Alternatively, you can use a touch screen as well. So that's kind of the seat in a way. I'm just to give you a bit of an example, he says, pop it into lazy mode. So I've just pressed the button. You do have to hold it until it gets to the right position. And eventually, right there, it stops. So this, if I put this away for a moment, this is me in my lazy, relaxed position. And if you want to make it a full flatbed, you can do that as well, like I said earlier, by pressing that button there. And that will then, let's give it a go now actually. That will then join the seat up with the footstool, and we have a fully flat bed. And as you can see here, there is plenty of room there for your legs and for your ankles. So for a taller person like me, this is most definitely quite helpful. So anyway, I'm going to put the seat back for the time being into the lazy position. And there's just one more thing I wanted to show you, and that is, you know, I know Stephen very well, but if you don't want to talk to or see your neighbour, there is also the option to raise this kind of privacy barrier here. And the button for that is a little bit hidden. It's actually, I don't know if you can see it from there, it's actually up there. So when you press that, up goes the barrier. So if you don't like the person sitting opposite you, you can block their face out. For me though, I'm gonna keep it down for the time being, just to kind of keep an eye on this one while he's snoozing. So I don't think there's really much else to tell you about the seat itself. As I said, this is an older seat. They are, let me just turn the camera around so you can see me. There you go. So this is an older seat. They are planning on retiring this fairly soon and replacing it with the new club suite. I'm yet to try that. I've been booked on a few flights where I was supposed to be in club suite, but for whatever reason there was equipment swaps at the last minute, and I haven't quite made it yet. But it'd be interesting to see from a comfort point of view, particularly around the shoulders and around the ankles, how that feels compared to this kind of yin-yang arrangement. So yeah, I'm going to kind of chill for a little bit. I might check out the in-flight entertainment and show you a bit of that as well. It is feeling a little bit warmer here. I think that's because I'm on the same side of the plane as the sun, so I have put the blinds down to try and get some of the temperature out, but if I touch them, like this one here, ow, right now that feels red hot. So it's clearly quite warm outside the aeroplane. Actually, it's not warm outside the aeroplane. It must be warm because the sun's coming through. It must be minus something outside the aeroplane, who knows. Anyway, I'm going to chill out for a little bit, check out some in-flight entertainment, and then we'll see what there is to offer there. Okay, so just very quickly to show you the IFE system. This is the homepage that you land on, I suppose, once you pardon the pun, once you open up the entertainment thing. You can just press the Watch Now button, which takes you, I suspect, into... Well, it's not working. So I'm just going to preface this. There we go. I didn't really trial any of this before doing this quick clip because I kind of wanted to see what it's like intuitively for someone who's never used it before. But when you press the entertainment button, I guess you've got BA Picks, which I imagine is what they're recommending at the moment. There's some options for box sets. September arrivals, is that new stuff for this month? Looks like it. Departing soon, I suspect, is stuff that's not going to be... That's a bit slow, isn't it? There we go. He's not going to be here for much longer. So there are some options there. No idea what chicken shop date is. What would that be? Don't know. I might explore that a little bit later. But anyway, you can roll from left to right using these navigation buttons here. I'm just going to tap on this menu button and see where that takes me. Okay, so I guess you can either go home to where we were just now. You can filter by movies, television, audio, games, Skyflies, is that kids? Maybe, and shopping as well. It looks like there's volume control when you've got your headphones plugged in, and a brightness control as well. Sleep, I'm not sure what that means. Reading light, I guess it's to turn your reading light on. Call cabin crew. Wi-Fi on board, which I assume is just information about how to connect, because normally you do that through your device itself. Languages, accessibility, and really importantly, if you're traveling with kids, there's a parental controls button there, which appears that you can tell the system how old the person in front of the screen is and what kind of content they can watch on the flight, which I guess on a 9-hour flight, if you want to bed down or you want to watch a film yourselves, it's quite important, because that means that you can trust that your kids are only seeing age-appropriate material. So come out of that for a moment. I'm just going to jump into the map as well so you can see some of that. And I do love a moving map, and this one doesn't look too bad, to be fair. If I get it to work, there we go. So I'm assuming this is a tablet, so let me just try and... Can I zoom in? Oh, that is one flaw, actually, I will show you about this, is that because it comes out from the side, it's very easy to accidentally push this thing away from you, particularly if there's turbulence. So let me see if I... No. Doesn't want to stay out now. Let me just pull that down a little bit, and I'll explain that for you guys as well in a second, but I'm assuming I can... There you go. So you can kind of zoom in on where you are, and it looks at the moment like we're heading towards Newfoundland. We've taken a bit of a northerly route this, today, because I think there's a bit of weather down here somewhere that they were trying to avoid. Normally when you fly into Orlando, they go kind of straight across over Bermuda, and then kind of cut into the finger of Orlando. The finger of Florida to land in Orlando. So yeah, it kind of looks quite useful. There are some options here, I think. What do these do? Flight info. Is something going to happen? Okay, right, so it tells you where you're going, how long it's until you get there, distance in miles, estimated arrival time, and then your local times based on the zones that you left and the zone that you're heading to. What else can I do? Autoplay. Okay, so I'm assuming that's just, again, showing you a little bit of information about what the time is where we're going. It's only 9:22 in the morning. It already feels later than that. For me, because that's definitely 5 hours ahead of UK time. Okay, this doesn't look particularly interesting and not much different to what I've just seen. What else can I see here? Aircraft view. So that, I guess, is just a few different options around. Looking at your camera. Just chase camera one there. Okay, it's behind you. So I guess that would normally be interesting, but we're over the Atlantic at the moment with not much to see, so maybe not. What else have we got here? Window view, I guess, is going to be, what can I see out the window? Well, let me have a guess. Water. Exactly that. Compass. Okay, anyway, you get the idea. It tells you a bit about where you're at, and I guess if you're over land, what you can look down on and see from above. So yeah, it does seem to be fairly responsive and fairly intuitive. I might settle down to watch a film in a little bit. I might have an app, I'm not sure yet, but either way, that gives you a feel for how the IFE works.
Right, we also mentioned earlier that you get an amenity kit in Club World, which, as you can see, comes in a nice leather case. Now, we're not going to open it right now for a good reason. To celebrate our growing Travelholics community and to say thank you to those of you who've been following our journey, we're giving you the chance to win one of 4 of these kits. To enter, simply head over to our Facebook fan group page, details of which are on the screen now and via a link in the description. Next, subscribe to our Facebook page and join our community. Lastly, under the post relating to this giveaway, comment winner and you'll be in with a chance of winning this. The giveaway closes at 23:59 on 5th of December 2025 and full details of disclaimers are on our Facebook post. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel too if you're new here, as well as turning notifications on so you know when new content lands. Right, I did mention earlier that I was going to try all 3 of the cocktails on the menu to see which one I preferred, and I'm feeling that now would be a good time to do that. There is a gin zing, which is, to quote, a tantalising mix of premium gin, citrus and sparkling water. There is also a cranberry blush, which is described as a refreshing and colourful mix of vodka, mandarin, orange and cranberry with a dash of spritz. And then lastly, there is the Johnny Ginger, which we are told is premium whiskey, mandarin, orange and ginger ale. They all sound interesting, but let's see which one of those is my favourite. So the verdict is in. The ginseng wasn't too bad, it was definitely citrusy but perhaps tasted a bit on the watery side and I felt it lacked a bit of depth. The cranberry blush was fruity, but conversely it was also really sour and bitter at the same time and definitely not to my personal taste, so I'll probably pass on that one in the future. The Johnny Ginger was seductively warm, rich and dark and definitely topped the ranking for me out of all 3 of them. So in the future that will be my cocktail of choice, but as always taste is personal, so it would be good to hear what everyone else thinks if you've tried one of these cocktails. That aside, the moving map is telling us that we're getting closer to the southeast of the USA, and around 90 minutes before landing the crew have brought around the much anticipated afternoon tea. We're looking forward to this, so let's see if it's lived up to all the hype.
Right, afternoon tea has arrived. It's quite nice actually. There's what they call a chicken caprese sandwich, although I'm not sure that is real mozzarella. I'll let you know when I taste it in a minute. There's a little quiche thing, some smoked salmon open sandwich. I'm going to eat that, but you know what I'm like with smoked salmon if you've been watching these vlogs for a little while. And then there's like a little eclair and a chocolate cake, and of course you can't have afternoon tea without a scone with jam and cream. Question is though, do you put the cream on first or the jam? Not sure what you guys think, but let us know in the comments on that one. And to wash it all down, one last glass of champagne. Right, so I'm going to try the savoury stuff first of all, to see what that's like. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get the worst bit out of the way first, because smoked salmon is not really my thing, but let me try it, and if not, I might give the leftovers to Stephen if he wants it.
Just for avoidance of any doubt, I'm not actually having any because I'm not hungry. But Luke is doing this so you people know what it tastes like and what to expect when you fly business to Florida on your next adventure. You've put worse in your mouth, I can
It tastes like smoked salmon, so I'll leave that little bit for you. Right, let's try a bit of the quiche.
Oh, it's actually a bit of quiche.
It's not bad, it's very sun-dried tomato-like, but it's alright. And then sandwich-wise, it's actually quite chunky if you look.
It's very chunky.
It's quite a bit of filling in there. So it looks like some kind of chicken mayonnaise, tomato and a slightly lower
value version of mozzarella. That's definitely not the Italian mozzarella. Our friend Paolo would not be impressed with calling this a chicken caprese
This is
sandwich.
British Airways, not
It's not ITA, yeah.
ITA or whatever it's called now.
I mean, it's okay. But it's okay. I think it's how I describe it. But I'll come on to the sweet stuff in a little bit. I'm just going to eat all the savoury stuff first, and then we'll come on to the cakes afterwards.
And for anyone that cares, I have gone back to my staple, which is another peppermint tea. And I have to admit, I wish I'd had this during the week because my stomach and the other end was doing some awful things. But this has really, really settled my stomach on this flight. And for anyone that actually cares, and I just said that, this is the brand. It is delicious, so we will be getting that. And I asked the steward if she could spare a couple for me when I leave the plane, and that is why I have those, because it means I can have a couple of cups of tea in the hotel, which is a very British thing, I think. Anyway, I am going to crack on with this, and I'll hand you back to Luke.
Okay, right, so onto the sweet stuff. And this is, I think they said on the menu it's an Earl Grey eclair. So I guess that's why it's pink on the top and not chocolate, right? But let me tell you what I think of this. Ooh. I mean, it's different. I don't know if you can see. It's not cream in the middle, it's some kind of creme patissier, which I think is where the Earl Grey is, but I can't really taste the Earl Grey. Either way, that's quite nice. I'm just going to try this little chocolate cake thing as well.
Got too much backlight.
That is very nice. It's got a little hint of coffee in it as well. But it may even be a coffee cake. No, I can definitely taste chocolate as well. So it's definitely got chocolate and coffee in it. Maybe it's meant to be a tiramisu type thing or some sort. But yeah, all very delicious. Right, to settle the debate, it's always cream first, then the jam, because the cream is the equivalent to butter. And if you put the jam on first, it soaks into the scone and goes soggy, which isn't how you're supposed to eat it. That's my personal view, but like I say, let me know in the comments what you guys think as well. So, just one thing to note, they do serve the scones warm, which is great, but by the time you've eaten the savoury stuff, and I'm the kind of person that I'm quite traditional, I want to eat the savoury stuff first and have the sweet stuff afterwards. By the time you've eaten that, the scone is cooled down a little bit. So nice as it is that they serve it warm, it's a bit of a gimmick, I think, but I'm going to give it a go and tell you what I think. I mean, it's a scone with clotted cream and jam. And there's nothing particularly distinctive about it, but it's not unpleasant, and I'm enjoying it. So, yeah, I'll carry on eating that. And for the meanwhile, cheers everyone.
So with afternoon tea all done, we're nearing the end of our flight now, and the crew are starting to get ready for landing. And I have to say, they have been brilliant. As we mentioned earlier, they have that perfect balance of being attentive but not being intrusive, which is always a good thing. But all good things must come to an end, and the east coast of Florida is now clearly visible beneath us. And we have to say, this is one of our favourite sights ever. Whilst the flight might be coming to an end, down there awaits an even more epic adventure. And for Stephen, this is definitely his happy place, so we should waste no time getting down there. With that in mind, let's get ourselves onto the ground.
Right, that is us off the plane.
Yep.
And as the most incredible housewife in the world says,
I have arrived, honey. I have arrived. And the spotlight is on me.
I have arrived.
And who's the spotlight on today, though? That's the question.
I suppose it must be you, really, because
I've not been here for a while. Not for 18 months.
18 months.
Yeah. So like, we're on the way to baggage reclaim. And Orlando's different to other airports in that you get your bags first and then go through passport control afterwards, and we do passport and customs in the same thing.
Yeah, you would know that from all the
previous vlog, yeah.
solo vlogs.
Solo vlogs, right? But what I'm interested to know is if the priority tags work, because every time I've come here before, they haven't, and our bag's been like one of the last ones to come out. So we'll see what happens when we get to the reclaim belt in a few minutes' time.
It's interesting though, because we are doing the MCP process.
Yes.
And
MPC.
And for anyone that isn't aware of that, it is for particular people that are on certain types of visas or ESTAs.
Yep.
UK is part of it. And you can go through a dedicated queue without actually having to go through the normal
line and get asked lots and lots of questions about why you're here and how much money you've got, where you're staying, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, so there's an app for it. You
Yep.
kind of put your passport details on, where you're flying into, and it should be that straightforward.
Yeah.
We will see.
We'll find out in a few minutes on that one as well,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Anyway, onwards we go.
Okay, so just as we are moving through the airport, we want to give a quick bit of insight for everyone. Terminal C is the newest of the terminals at Orlando Airport and is in a different location to the older Terminals A and B, which in reality are one shared building near the centre of the airport land. Now, any of you that have long-standing memories of visits to Orlando will know about the pea green carpets with palm trees on them and the strange hotel in the middle of the terminal with balconies overlooking the concourse. And yes, you don't get that experience if you arrive at Terminal C, but instead you get a much more light and airy experience, and the processing time, at least at the moment, is nowhere near as long.
I do love how bright this area is. And look, there's no other flights landed, so that's good. Last time I was here, there was a shit ton of other flights.
This looks really quiet, actually.
Yeah. So here is the MPC app that we were talking about, which you can download. Oh, it's disappeared.
It's gone now.
But to access it, it's on the far left-hand corner over there. But for the time being, we shall wait for our bags. But to echo Luke's point, I've never seen it this quiet
I've never seen no queue whatsoever.
in my last 3 visits.
Passport control, not once. It will all change in about 10 minutes though, once everyone gets their bags.
Indeed, indeed.
I'm pretty sure.
Anyway, in no time at all, our bags have arrived, and yes, breaking the habit of a lifetime, the priority tags seem to have worked well for us today. Not that that's a major bother. We've pre-cleared immigration in principle thanks to the MPC app and are now heading out landside. And that's very different to our historic experiences in the older terminals, which can often take an hour, if not two, to get through. So let's give you our thoughts on the arrival process so far.
Right, welcome to Florida. That literally took us 22 minutes from the time we landed to our bags coming to going through the MPC queue, which was non-existent. It was, so I got a bit of reflux. It was by far the quickest experience I've had getting off the plane, getting the bags and getting off. And the MPC thing was really non-intrusive whatsoever. It just literally just confirmed where we were staying, nothing to declare, what we were doing.
I didn't even get that. He just said, are you here for business or pleasure? I said, pleasure, I'm looking forward to seeing the theme parks. He said, have you got anything to declare? I said, no. He took my picture, gave me my passport and said, have a nice day in Orlando. And that was it. And if any of you have been through border control in the United States before, you know it can be quite horrific at times and quite intrusive as well. But
especially after a 9-hour flight when you're a bit tired, a bit wary and that. But yeah, so really, really easy experience. But we are here. As I said, the time is 3:53. So we're going to get ourselves an Uber, head on over to the hotel, drop this stuff off.
Do you know what I'm looking forward to?
What are you looking forward to?
And those of you that have been to Florida before will know this. There is a certain smell when you walk through those doors and go outside. It's just like a Florida smell, and I don't know what I mean by that, other than it smells like Florida, it must be something to do with the humidity, I suppose, and perhaps some of the natural flora and fauna. But I can already smell the indoor air conditioned smell here, but I'm looking forward to getting the outdoor smell as well.
And I always forget how incredible this terminal is. It's so much nicer than Terminal B. The only thing that lets it down is the fact that it doesn't have a Panda Express, but that is something they can easily sort out.
We can probably rectify that later, right?
We are going to rectify that later, yes. So plan is Uber, hotel, Islands of Adventure, meeting up with Chloe, and Panda Express. So let's get out and do this.
We'll see you guys in a bit.
Right, so ordering an Uber or indeed any rideshare is really easy from this terminal. You just book it on the app as usual and then head to the pickup point, which is upstairs just outside of the exit, as you can see here. And the wait times are low too. We've never really had an issue with a long wait, and today is no different. Our Uber has arrived and we're loading up our cases, so the next stop, hopefully in less than 15 minutes, will be the hotel that we're staying at for the next couple of weeks. Okay, so we've arrived at Universal's Dockside Inn and Suites, and yes, this really is the check-in queue. And whilst it's a spectacular entrance lobby with lots to distract the eye, there is a mission that I need to complete. So to pass the time now seems as good a time as any.
Okay, so I have news. I made good use of the queue time down in the hotel reception because it was really long if you saw that earlier on. And I noticed there was a little ticket window or a little ticket desk to the side.
It's called a vacation planning centre. They have them in all Universal resorts.
But it did have a sign saying tickets above it. So I went up to the desk and I said to them, I've got a 2-week Explorer Pass for the 3 parks, which is Volcano Bay, Universal Studios and Island Adventure. And I'd like to upgrade it to an annual premium pass. Can I do that here or do I need to go to the park? And they're like, no, you can do that here. So as of now, I'm a Universal Orlando annual season pass holder.
Preferred level.
Preferred level as well. And the reason we're doing that is because when we come back here in Christmas with a preferred level pass, you get things like free parking as well, which is going to save us an absolute fortune when we're back here then. So the upgrade cost was $319.50. Off the top of my head, I don't know what that works out in sterling, but I'll put that somewhere down there so you can see that when it comes through on my credit card. And the original price for the two-week ticket, if we bought it direct from Universal, would have been $439.99, so roughly $440. I don't think I paid that either with attraction tickets direct. Right. Again, I can't remember off the top of my head what it was, but I'll put that down there too. So I think overall that's fairly good value for money. So you can come here now as many as you want. And because it's a preferred one, there are no blackout days. So
any day I want to come to Universal, provided I'm in the country, that's a slight minor factor in this point, I can go to Universal Studios or Islands Adventure or Volcano Bay and have a fun day, basically.
And just to clarify, blackout days are certain days where they have special events on, like over Christmas period, they'll have blackout days. They also have blackout days during the Mardi Gras event when they have certain acts performing on the Saturday. So anyone that watched my last vlog for March will see that I wasn't actually able to go on the Saturday. And then there are other days during July when it's, or June and July when it's really, really busy. And another benefit as well is that Luke gets 10% off of all Universal merchandise, including food and drink, with exception of alcoholic beverages, which is very helpful. And because we will be staying in a villa when we come in December and we'll have a car, the other benefit is
the free parking, as I just mentioned.
So really, really helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I feel really pleased with that. I feel like I'm an important person now. And when we go over to parking a bit, I'll probably get a lanyard as well, just so I can carry my pass with pride around my neck. I've also added it to my app. So in theory, Stephen tells me that when we go to the gate lines later, I just have to look into the camera and the facial recognition will pick me up from previous visits, and I shouldn't have to show anyone my pass, which hopefully will make it nice, slick and easy for us to get into the park. Speaking of which though, we're going to check out the queue times, and we might just head over and have a cheeky ride on a couple of roller coasters before we meet our friend Chloe a bit later on this evening.
So hold the line, caller.
We're just checking.
So VelociCoaster is currently 90 minutes.
Wow, an hour and a half.
So what we will do is...
we should get ourselves over there, I think.
Yeah.
Right, okay, well, we will see you guys, hopefully, very shortly on the way to the park.
And if anyone cares, Hagrid is 160 minutes.
160? That's 2.5 hours. Wow. So we're definitely going to take advantage of the early park admission, I think, if you want to ride on some of these rides in the next couple of weeks. So again, just for everyone's insight, Universal's Dockside and Surfside resorts are a pair of hotels that are generally considered to be in their value price range bracket. And that doesn't really bother us, to be honest. We're not planning on spending much time in the hotel after all. But even as one of the lower priced options, they are connected to the main Universal complex by a complimentary bus shuttle, which only takes a few minutes and runs equally as frequently. So we're now going to head down to that in order for us to head over to the park. I'm sure we'll show you a bit more of the hotel on a future vlog, but for today though, our priority is to get into Islands of Adventure so that we can make some headway into that 90-minute VelociCoaster queue and still be on time to meet Chloe for some dinner.
Right, so we're over at City Walk. And
So busy.
we didn't appreciate that being a Saturday, it was Halloween Horror Nights.
Probably not a good idea.
It is mental. There are so many people here. However, there are loads of people walking against us.
That's a good sign.
So we're going to go and get our V coaster fixed in. And the sun is just starting to set, golden hour. So hopefully some good ride footage.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. we have arrived.
And the spotlight is on me.
And Luke is going to
Yeah.
use his UAP for the first time.
I don't know how it's going to work. I assume you just scan it, right?
Well, here you should just have to show your face, and you should just be let in.
Okay.
So
Well, let's see what happens.
after you. Right there, mate. Fantastic, thank you.
Well, that was easy. Scan my ticket, smile at the camera, in we go. And we are back.
Back in the happiest place in the universe. And as the sign says, the adventure begins. Well, it begins with VelociCoaster. You happy to be back?
Yeah, I think so. I just noticed that people keep walking into me, and like Steve said, it's good that everyone's going the other way, but the people just don't look when they go in here, and it's like, I feel like I'm going left and right, trying not to hit people in the face, and they don't seem to kind of make any counter efforts to get out of the way either, so good sign they're going the other way though, so hopefully the queue is going down. We've noticed it's already dropped from 90 minutes to 70 minutes in the time it's taken us to get here, so I'm hoping it might drop another 20 minutes by the time we get to the start of the queue.
But every time I've come here previously, when I've done it on a solo trip, when I've come in the evening, I've always gone to the left-hand side via Marble, which is the wrong way to go. It's actually need to go via Zeus Landings. So that is the way we are going to go.
Absolutely.
But I'm going to flip the camera around because this view is everything,
I love this
people. Now, I know some people have the feels when they walk down Main Street and they see Cinderella's castle for the first time. But people,
The VelociCoaster are going over the peak.
this is 100% my happy place. And I am so glad we are back in the magic that is Universal.
And actually, it's not too hot, no?
No, weather is perfect, but we're going to we're going to mow through all these people, and the next place you will see us will be at the Raptor Paddock.
Okay, I know some of you will be asking, why are we feeling the need to head to a roller coaster rather than chilling out after a 9.5 hour flight? And you're probably right asking that, but this is actually one of our top tips to beat the time difference factor between the UK and the Eastern US time. The trick is to stay awake as long as you can, so to help us to pass some time, why would we not head to one of our favourite roller coasters? In fact, it's become a little bit of a tradition for us every time we visit Florida.
It says 70 minutes, but I can guarantee you that will not be 70 minutes because it should be out the back.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see though. Let's see how long it takes.
Now, VelociCoaster is Islands of Adventure's newest ride, having opened in 2021, and is the fastest coaster in Universal Resorts' current estate. And that does mean that the wait is most definitely worth it. Speaking of which, one of the things that theme parks in America are good at is creating an immersive queuing experience. In this particular one, there are references to the 4 raptors that feature in the most recent canon of the Jurassic World films, and there are also some live ones that appear whilst you're waiting too. Anyway, our initial optimism of a shorter wait time was perhaps a bit misguided, and we had been in the queue for just over an hour. That said, we probably haven't helped ourselves by opting to wait for the front row. But our time has now come, so let's jump on the ride and enjoy the experience.
Oh, it's warm.
Knock it off! Get it up! Lock it up! Riders are good luck!
Here we go. I'm ready. How was that?
I'll be right there.
Just got off the VelociCoaster. Yep. I have to say, that is the best ride ever. Oh, I had so much fun.
And hopefully the right footage come out because we managed to get a front row.
Yes, we did. Actually, that was worth waiting for. And then, for some reason, there were some kids there that just let us go in front of them. I'm not sure why. I think they might have been waiting for it to get completely dark before they did their ride. But I quite like the golden hour, dusk kind of lighting that we had instead. So
yeah, it was really, really good. And do you know what? If you don't ask, you don't get. And the woman was more than happy to let us go on the front row, so we was really, really happy about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, we now need to...
We need to head out the park, actually.
Yeah. The time is currently 7:43.
Yep.
We're off to meet Chloe from some Panda Express and a cuddle. But yeah, that is literally the best start to any Florida holiday.
Absolutely.
Is the VelociCoaster. So
really
glad
enjoyed
we did that. Right, time to find Luke, a lanyard. If I remember, they were down by the front.
Okay. Let's go have a look.
Oh my god, I am starting to feel it now. Feeling very tired. You specifically want a UOAP one, don't you?
I do, yeah.
So it's over there in the corner.
Oh yeah.
And then you might want to get a wallet for it to go in as well.
A nice simple one. Cool.
Right, happy boy.
I haven't paid for it yet, but once I have, then I will be.
Our evening at Islands of Adventure is done. The adventure definitely lives on, but tomorrow, Panda Express is calling.
Right, so Chloe's here somewhere apparently. We're just trying to track her down, and we've said that we are on the bridge, but the boats for hotels go underneath.
And she's quite kindly shared her location as well.
Which is quite helpful, but that doesn't, it's not coming out very well, but it's there somewhere. But it doesn't really help you pinpoint where she is in a crowd like this. See her a mile off now. How you doing? Well done. We were saying, this place is so busy today.
Yeah, I'm glad I went to Discovery Cove.
Okay, so let's just talk Panda Express for a moment. We once met some Americans on a boat tour in Athens who thought it was hilarious that we love this place so much. It is, after all, in essence, fast food, authentic American Chinese. You choose from a range of dishes, pay at the counter, and then find a seat to eat it. But that's exactly why we love it. It's just so quick, easy, and simple. There are plenty of dishes to choose from, including some sides if you've got a big appetite. So on that note, let's tell you a bit more about what we think of our food.
Right, it is dinner time.
Dinner time.
What have you gone for?
I have gone for soup greens and broccoli and beef.
That looks interesting. Hopefully it will taste nice. What drinks did you go for?
Full fat Fanta.
Nice.
But as we know over here, it's like colouring.
Yeah, absolutely. I've gone for a Diet Coke. I am really thirsty at the moment. But I'm not overly hungry, so I've just gone for like some super greens and Beijing beef.
which looks quite nice actually. I've not had that before. So yeah, we'll see. Chloe, do you want to tell us what you got?
Yeah, so I've got chow mein and honey walnut shrimp. And a root beer, which I'm going to remember to take with me because my last root beer I forgot at the counter.
That's clever, isn't it? Right, he wants to tuck in and tell us what we think.
I mean, I've had this many, many times and it is delicious.
Was it you that introduced us to Panda? It was,
Yeah, probably.
So for our viewers at home, Chloe and I have been friends for 16 years.
Yep.
And we first went to Florida 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And I think somewhere I have a photo of us sitting on the NASCARs. So I will insert that somewhere in the frame.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Me and 25
Anyway, how's food? How's food, more importantly? Yeah? So yours must taste better than it looks then, because it looks a little bit brown to me.
Yours will taste more flavoursome, but
yeah,
given how my stomach's been the past couple of days, it's good that this is quite light.
Bland?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. Maybe I should tuck into mine then.
I think so.
Later that same evening.
Right, we are back in the hotel room.
Yes.
Feeling very, very tired. The time is 9:30, which means it's now tomorrow back in the UK.
Somewhere around 2:30, right?
Yeah.
And we were up at 4 o'clock in the morning, which in Orlando would have been 11 PM yesterday. So we've gone 22 hours.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
Without any kind of decent sleep. So yeah, it's quite, I feel quite tired. I'm ready to bed.
Your voice is a bit croaky as well. So
I might have got a little bit excited on VelociCoaster, maybe. And you probably saw that earlier. Yeah, it's been a good day. Busy, hectic. The flight was good. Didn't feel like 9.5 hours actually in the end, but that could be a little nap halfway through.
Yeah.
The crew were really good. The food was good. The flight was comfortable, the seat in terms of space and design. Getting through passport control and baggage reclaim at Orlando
it's just incredible.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been through that quick in my life.
I mean, it helps that we were the only flight. It also helps that our bags came off.
Yeah.
We weren't cursed by the baggage label fiasco that Luke normally brings with him. And we had the MCP app.
MPC.
So that just works really
MPC,
quickly. So
yeah.
definitely do that, guys. And I think the
Actually, I don't think we've mentioned it yet. That MPC thing is free. There's no fees or anything to pay for it. You just put you answer all your questions in advance. Basically, they're going to ask you
on the app.
The app. So they've already got that, and it's just a case of checking your face looks like the picture in your passport, basically.
Yeah. A highlight for me was definitely seeing Chloe earlier.
I thought you were going to say VelociCoaster.
It was very close. VelociCoaster did not give me.
I think you chose the right option though.
Yeah, VelociCoaster did not give me a big, hard squeeze, which is what I needed. I felt like I needed some love with how I've been feeling this week, very under the weather. But yeah, so here end of our day. It's been long, but it's always worth it. Travel days are always great, and it's even better when you get to the other end and you get to see a face of someone you really kind of love. So that's nice.
That is true.
On that note, we are doing early park admission tomorrow for Islands of Adventure because obviously Luke's not been here in 18 months and is desperate to get on Hagrid's.
Yes.
We'll get him on the Hulk as well,
yeah,
more than likely. So it's going to be a day or two halves. We're going to do some theme park stuff in the morning. In the afternoon, Chloe is kindly going to drive us to a couple of the outlets to pick up a few bits and pieces and have a peruse, and then we'll be ending the day tomorrow at Bahama Breeze.
I do love Bahama Breeze. I'm looking forward to that, to be honest.
Yeah, so stick around for that. Thank you so much for watching if you've got this far, but we're going to leave it there.
Yeah.
We will catch you tomorrow.
We've forgotten to say.
We'll catch you tomorrow for a brand new day in the incredible Florida. And as always, if you have liked what you've seen, and why would you not, hit the like button,
subscribe, turn on notifications so you know we put new content out. And actually we do love a comment, and we always reply to each one, and it's great to hear your guys' thoughts too, so feel free to put a comment below, and we'll get back to you on that. And check out our socials as well. We're quite active on TikTok and Instagram. We'll probably put how you can find us there somewhere below as well. But that probably is it for tonight.
That is it.
Because we're exhausted.
We do need to get some sleep, so we will definitely catch you in the morning.
See you guys later.
Take care. Bye.
He is. Turn around, show me your shirt there. Look at that shirt, Blue. He's a rat. She's not impressed. No, she's not.